it's also AliExpress. It's probably not, it's probably 25 max, right? maybe less. This one, I didn't know how big it would be when it arrived. I knew that it had a frame, and I don't like frames. So in ancient times, a teenager, I had an then already ancient backpack that had a frame. That's the only one. It was very tiny, and it was it's like an external aluminium thing, and it broke finally from use. But that's the only one that I've had. So it was like a simple sack hanging onto this thing, and I don't know if it really. I used it to put stuff on, right? It had a little angle at the bottom where you could like hang stuff onto. Yeah, but it was very simple, but it must be so long ago it broke, right? Crazy. So we have arrived. I'm gonna grab some stuff from the other backpack because it's really stuff we have here. So this is my normal backpack. We have another phone for TTS, and I'm not gonna actually bring this along. The only thing I want, no water thingy, the stream thingy. So I got one call just when I left, and one call when we were just opening the car. Hello, I'm sorry I didn't see your messages the other day. Now I do. I'm gonna read it, so. Oh, I'm not very good at Spanish, unfortunately. So, hola, I understand. Yeah, hola from Spain, maybe? So, Chinese Discord. Yes, there's a Discord group. If the TTS bot works, which it, or the streamer bot works, which it probably should because it started stream, exclamation mark Discord should give you the link to the Discord, right? I'm sorry that the translation doesn't work right now, because it should. I didn't start the TTS yet. Let's start the TTS and you can talk in Spanish and the translation should work. But we have a little time because I was thinking of doing a lot of things today. So let's start the TTS quickly. And it was actually already up here, but we don't need actual Wi-Fi too. There. So, and this one kind of says it started already because it didn't update yet. I thought so. Let's see. Go.
Connected to channel Fixit 42.
Now we should have translation. So if you retype stuff, if you type in Spanish now, it should translate. Okay. I didn't actually even stop the car. It's not that cold. So, nothing more we need from this backpack. Let's put the water things back. And I was actually going to move my... There. So now you'll see the new backpack. What color will it have? Any clues? Will it be purple? Will it be green? What will it be? Also, actually I had another battery in there. So, I'm gonna go. It fell down through all the things. So these are mostly things for streaming, but the batteries in here. So as I got it cool just when I got to the car. No. So I moved it out when I picked the phone up. So then it's in the back seat. Yeah. So first thing, so If you speak to me now in Spanish, it will be translated to English. So, let's see. Yeah, that's down there. So when you're leaving to bring your kid to school and you get 2 calls just then, that's slightly stressful. So, the phone with the GPS. The battery. And this backpack, which I have loaded as much as I can with heavy stuff too.
Miss Thief 2705 says, when you can, leave me the Discord link so we can talk.
So you type !Discord, but if you don't understand, I will try and type it myself. Let's see. I have to hop over to Twitch. My chat. There. And let's... Better spell Discord right.
I find you to be such an interesting person.
Thank you, thank you. There, you should have the link to join the Discord. So this looks heavy, but it's because I have over 2.5 liters of water and my giant jacket and extra stuff, just to test stuff, right? So we don't need 2 pairs of glasses. That's not necessary. And let's put allergy meds in there. Go. Yeah. So I'll just put the battery, the streaming things, you know. We got a tripod too. Let's lower brightness a little bit. Oh gosh. Maximize for best viewing in bright light? Yeah, but I don't want that. I don't know why it's on max brightness. It's very odd. It thinks that's very bright here, I guess. So, sorry, it goes black for 2 seconds. Actually, I have the perfect packet. The perfect packet right here for an extra phone, right? We got some water on that side. So that's why it's 2.5 liters. And it's more than 1 liter in the big ones, so more than that. So I'm thinking we might put a tent up in the same spot as last time. And the reason being, I don't want to spend time on finding a spot. It was not a good spot though, because moss, loose moss and with stones under it. But it worked, so... As it worked. So we don't have to find another flat spot, because it's kinda not flat here. So if I see another spot that's good, I will do it. I haven't actually even fastened anything. There are car keys in the pocket. So I'm like, I didn't lock the car, did I? It doesn't matter more than that I care about the battery locks. So just to make sure we don't lose power. There, so now it's definitely locked. And as last time, we will need a little stick. As I saw little sticks here, you know, little sticks all over the ground. One of them we need to pick up and use for the tent. It might still be there, the one we used last time though. And the kids have left piles of sticks. So that one could be good. Gloves. I need gloves. So I think it's about -4 Celsius. Let's see if I can do anything about the... Yeah, it has lowered the brightness now. Good. It wasn't some kind of maxed mode that I couldn't change. Very, very odd. Never seen it before. The brightness adjustment line was just maxed, and when I clicked it, it said adjusted for bright light or something. So odd. And this is all stiff from the cold. The battery cable. So I don't think I need any water even for this. Except if we're gonna do like make some food. So mostly this is a backpack test, right? And I haven't even attached the little straps on my chest. So this backpack can also be without, I'm just putting this on there, without the tummy belt totally. And it also came with a lightweight one. The thing I don't like about it the most is that it has a metal frame. I think a backpack should be possible to just squish into a ball. That's my kind of backpack. So, backpack test, right? Sticks. I think that probably the one I had will still be there. Otherwise we can use this. So I don't want to be too close to the antenna. So there we have the fireplace. I'm thinking that last time it wasn't as cold. You might just put it here. We had the wet ground last time. And this is quite flat. Yeah. It's also harder. We kind of want a view of the woods, right? I said I'd go to the same place. I'm kind of curious to do that though. I'm looking for a little pile of trees stuck together there. So there's a rock that we had as a table last time. So, let's see. On the ground, there's where we put the tent. I should have kind of like put the stick somewhere where it could be seen better. But we have a replacement if you want to. This is why I didn't care about bringing a stick if I didn't pick that one up. Can I see the one I made? The right length? Or do we have to fix one? Ah, we have so many sticks. I'm like, is this the one? They're all frozen to the ground slightly too. This one though seems kind of the right height. This might do without fixing. So this is where we had the food last time. So obviously there wasn't a problem running with this. I'm just in bad shape, that's why I'm looking for it. So this is what it looks like. The backpack. So very much a lot of water. So we definitely won't need this water, but I always have water for putting a fire out, mostly. So in case we want to feel like making a fire, then we have it. So there's water too. And this was extremely easy to put in here. So I thought it would be harder. I just pushed it in. There. So even though we got my car keys and a little light there. And here's the TTS phone. So let's check if this turned off. Yeah, it did. So, and I also switched programs. We need to be in this one for the TTS to work.
Be careful, there's a lot of snow, friend.
yeah.
I forgot to answer your question.
Oh.
I'm from a town in Castilla La Mancha called Puertolano.
Oh.
I live in Don Quixote's land. I don't know if you've read the book.
Okay, yeah, so I haven't read the book, but I've heard about it, you know. I think everybody has. Anyway, in this little thing I have a few stuff to start fires and things like that, so if you want to do that, and I'm kind of thinking I do. And then this top, which is rolled, is connected to the same pocket, big pocket as this. So I can just easily grab stuff here. So on top I push down a big jacket here, right? So, though, one thing more I want to have. Let's see. Yeah, I put it here. This thing that I put under the fire, which is not really necessary. It's just fire protection for the ground, really. So it's not like we're gonna make stuff catch fire, right? Let's go with that spot. And I hope this hasn't had time to go very cold, but it should be good anyway. So let's start with just turning this on. Make sure that it's stable. It feels stable. And if I push it down in the snow, last time I put a twig like underneath to make it more stable. And then we gotta turn it down too. So I hate this little thing. this thing. This is actually Swedish. Come on. That's so odd. Yeah, you should have a knife, but I kind of think that I should practice doing it with this one. Yeah, it's on now. So, then we can turn it off with this one later. And we can put this. So the reason I don't like doing that is because we have those if we want them. And we want the spoon. There. We need a little bit of water. So. Yeah, so it's actually not dirty in it. It's just like spots where it's not perfect. Yeah, I think it's good enough. Let's put some water in there. Yeah, also we have a tarp if we want to play with that instead. Here's the tent. Here's just all of the rest down is just the sleeping bag. So here's the food. Noodles. Let's go put some water in here. Already warm. Oh, it smells so nice. So we don't want to do too much. That's like 3.5, maybe even 4. Yeah. So the recipe for these says the calf. So I don't know if I care about the leather this time. It will probably boil quicker. So there's no wind today. Everything is still. No wind at all. So, this is ready to go. Let's put it far enough away to not to burn. So, should I put the tent up or should we do something else? Time. We have, it's 1:46, so I've spent 15 minutes so far off 1.5 hours. So we definitely have time to put up the tent. So why not? The only thing is that if I put this up, I have to dry it later. And it's a bit messy to have it in the living room where I put it the last time. Maybe we should have it in the bathroom instead. Smooth. I love the material. So I sold these tiny locks for the strings before. So last time I didn't put the extra lines up, right? So I'm not thinking I'll do that this time either. I didn't see any need. Especially for a 1 hour tent. Yeah, so it's getting warmer and warmer. So this is so easy to roll. Let's make sure we have the right side. I noticed that last time I put it on the right side and then I turned it around. Which is not the smartest, right? Because then you get it backwards. So this is, yeah, this is the front, so it's in the right direction. And this spot is the exact same where I put it last. So I know that this is a tiny little bit of mouse with a tiny little bit of, and what I brought now, which I didn't have last time, is my little 3D printed push the tent pegs down thingy, which is over here. No? There. So you don't hurt your hands. That's so nice. Huh? So hopefully this will be easier with the frozen ground there. Let's put this one on at once. And it doesn't have to be perfect. This is just me setting this up a few times, so I kind of know, right? Second time. Yeah, you can feel when it punches through the frozen ground, and it's not frozen underneath. Oh, it was that tight. Okay, I thought there was the other one because of that. So let's feel if we end up in the middle of stone or not. Yeah, definitely different direction for sure. And this is a big rock here, right? Let's see. So the thing I thought I would make that's different from last time. It actually gets stuck in there. It's because these are rotated, and the ones that I printed it for, they're not. I think that's why. I'm gonna touch this for a little bit so it won't fall asleep. And I keep being right-handed, so let's do this one with the right hand too. Oh. Take both like this maybe. So I don't want to put this one too much out. Oh, by the way, this gray stuff, it's what came with the 3D printer. And as I keep saying, we're going to do cyber streams again. So I'm thinking of stick here. That's what I'm thinking. Let's unzip it and let's just try with what we have. So I'm gonna just need one more. So the 3 left over. So let's see if my measurement was approximately right. I think this is too low actually. Let's see. So another 10 centimeters if we want it to be high. Maybe we should try with just the first stick we got, right? So, putting it here. And let's say this is the only stick we had. And we have to live with it, right? And first time I was like, ooh, this is cool, right? That's a cool thing. A little metal piece which hooks into both those. And as last time, this is too tiny. Let's actually change it. Because last time I untied this. Let's fix this one instead. Yeah, by the way, I saw someone saying that the best tent of the year and stuff, and they mentioned this as like a good noob tent. And with the only comment that except for it's a good price point, and oh, both of these have like let go. I don't want it that much, so we need to tighten other things later. Gosh, this is I think this is actually better attached than any of the others. So it's very, very tight there. Let me just put this a little tighter. Let's see about these. Yeah, so maybe they are, yeah, those are odd. Yeah, I should have stretched that more and that less. But now we have like as it's so short, that's why we have this situation, right? So it's actually touching the inner tent here. I don't like that. That one is probably should go out a little bit, and this one should be looser. So I don't want to spend too much time on this too. We have a too short stick. We know it. We don't want to spend all day on that. Let's tighten these two. So we could move it too, but I'm just going to do that because I don't want to spend more time on it. And it is very much lower than it was last time. And that's okay. So this is actually really tight again, so I could have done more of the same. But once enough. Oh, maybe we should roll it a little for making it prettier, right? So it doesn't hang down. So there. I kind of would have preferred to have it opposite, so you take that one inside, because that's a natural movement. And here you can also see that this, we kind of move it a bit, right? And it's actually not touching the inner now, though it's very loose. I could pull this back a bit more, but I'm kind of thinking good enough, actually. It's also a line there. If we were supposed to stay here for more than an hour, we'll fix that. So let's actually do this. Let's pull this one through here, and then into the loop. So the door is all attached. Or we could do it the other way, but I don't think that would be as stable. So let me just grab the loop, pull it through, and put it around that one. So now those are all attached. And this is very low, and we would fix it if we cared. But today, short little one, I can pull this one, because I didn't even do that, right? So come on, yeah, there it is. And this one is like slightly in the wrong direction, but it doesn't matter either. And this one is not tightened either, just the little extra knot there. So that should do a little thing at least on this side. But mostly we're just having everything together now, right? So let's see what the water looks like. Can I touch this? Ooh, it's warm. Yeah, so it's almost finished. Yeah, that's still warm. So this is like too little water for this, right? But little for animals too. There. This is so easy to fix food, right? Right. There's a reason I didn't put that next to it. So last time at this spot we just made tea. There. So we can really actually remove these already. Yeah, they're not too warm. So grab the trash and keep stuff as clean as possible all the time. So for putting the tent together later, we need those. And this one goes in here. So we really could stop the fire there now because it's probably more than warm enough. We don't need that one. So I'm actually going to put a little check on time first. Yeah, so 2. So we have 1 hour left. And at the end of that we need to also walk to the car. So this one is, the other one didn't have these. And that's nice. But let's just show you how much extra string there is here, right? So we could have had such a much bigger thing here. I'll go you an AliExpress link for this backpack. I don't like the frame though, so it's not perfect. This is just a normal rubber band because let's make it harder for myself to do stuff, right? So let's say it still says at the same time, same temperature probably. So let's put head on that side. I did last time too. But I rolled this out the other direction. So let's not wait for it to self-inflate because time, right? So I'll give it a few breaths. So like 4 breaths. I don't like those like connections though. It's kind of not perfect. So let's put even this in here, and this is like ancient and huge, right? I just wanted to put all of the things in here. So it's also supposed to be very warm. And I don't think I'm gonna remove my shoes or anything. Or maybe I'll pull them out here. Because that's the whole thing of these, right? There. And imagine we wanted the backpack here too. If you just lean it on the stick. There. So. And now we're using a too short stick. We could have fixed a new one. And I'm kind of a little bit curious now if we could see the old one I used. because I'm assuming the kids would have leaned it up here. Oh, it smells so good now. So good. It's boiling. I don't want to leave it to boil for too long. Just a quick check. Yeah, so it would be camouflaged with others. So let's cool that off. Let's grab that and cool that off. And let's grab this one, or we can take the under one and cool that off. Nice useful thing with the snow, right? There. It's kind of warm, so yeah, I didn't actually put it further down or anything, so also I think that the snow underneath here did not melt or anything, so if we just put it on snow, it would probably have fallen over even, maybe. So yeah, let's move this because I want it to cool off quicker. We can melt some more snow here. Yeah, worm. So this one should probably be cold. Nah, it still melts the snow. So yeah, and these are not red anymore. So these bits were red from being in the liquid, but now it's just all gone black. So I'm just melting some snow so we don't get so much in the bag. So now we have an inside to put stuff. This is, by the way, like an IKEA bag. It says CCCC. I've had that for random stuff since I don't even remember what it was for from the start. Long ago. So we have, as last time we did noodles without all the water, because first it was just too much. Yeah, and that wasn't on stream even. Yeah, I'm thinking this will be warm still, but maybe I can close it. Yeah. So I'm not gonna pack it or anything. I just want to have all the things a little organized. So no chopsticks today, and I'm actually going to be preparing already now, so I'm not gonna turn any fires out so we can throw off this water. Put it back in the backpack too. So I already tried it with that weight, right? So let's go inside. Yum. This will be cozy. That's cold fingers. Let's warm them up again. Yeah, smell crunchiness. Yeah, so I didn't use the bag or anything. So if I was gonna stay more than a little bit here, I would grab my jacket as a pillow. But I guess I could use a tent bag. That's a fun test. With stuff in it, it doesn't matter. Yes, it's very airproof. Now we have a little pillow. And this is a bad thing with this one. It doesn't connect like this. The backpack does. So USB third time. I'm just gonna have to try and lay down in here. Oh, that was cozy. And it's not holding the air. It's opened up. So not working. First it felt like it was working, but I think I moved it somehow. Because usually you can't push air out of this. Interesting. It was a test. So move this so it doesn't close. Hopefully it's still working. Food time. So this is swollen a lot now. So I'm eating on top of an open sleeping bag. Maybe not the most smart thing. So let's move that back. Right, I remember last time, this is why I brought the tripod. To be able to eat without... So, then we have backpack access. And tripod access. That's nice. So, yeah, this is a long way to go to extend enough to fit this phone. It's the same exact thing I have on my chest though. So it fits. And I have a power cable connected to myself. So in case I was cold, I could like cozy a little bit. Ah, this is so nice. Kinda miss the chopsticks though. Can I touch it now? No. Yeah, I'd like to have chopsticks. This works, but you can't grab. Oh, I see my shoes like getting loose on the side. So more snow to cool it off, right? I could put snow in there, but nah. So I made it as heavy as I possibly could. So the plan is, of course, to bring my kids too, and I do believe that two people could fit in this tent, no problem. And now I've got a too short stick, so it is a bit tinier here. But I think this is, especially last time when we had the Reitling stick, it's huge. It's like too big for me, really. Then we didn't have this on my head. I'm curious about how my kids would feel about that. They are bigger than me. So I also have my old tent, which is 3 people tent that we have been using. But that was quite long ago now. So one of my kids haven't wanted to go outside. So I'm taking all the opportunities now to try and make him go outside. Let's make some other food next time. So maybe we'll do like bread on the frying pan. Maybe. Or try to make bread in this. Yeah. So the way we had it now, you can't adjust the heat from the alcohol burner, because well, this one doesn't actually have one of the lids which you can limit it with even, but the Trangia does, and it's the same size. So then you would have to hold something up with in another way. So I'm kind of thinking we could try, if we use this, we could use a string and attach it to a tree, so it's further from the ground. From the fire and from the tree, obviously, right? So I'm trying to make this. I think I might be able to hold it now. Ah, no, not yet. Not just yet. So this is just me experimenting with stuff. This time this backpack. So as I'm waiting for picking up my kids, let's see. 14:18. So it's an hour since I dropped them off. It was so quick. I would think that I thought I would have like a problem having all the time, enough time to do all this. Oh, yum. This is still a bit warm though. Should have poured some cold water in. I might still do that to get more of the sauce because it's yummy and it's a bit strong with this amount of water. So lunch, a bit late lunch. Yeah, we can get rid of the handles now. Probably. So I'm totally full. I need those. Trying to experiment if I don't need those, right? Because this one is definitely a have, must have. And those kind of have been so nice. So people keep talking about you should eliminate weight, you know? And I kind of like this part. Is it too heavy? I mean, it's not like I have a million things with me. Compared to the sleeping bag too, it weighs nothing. This is 200 grams with a lid. I think it's a bit overdoing it. I mean, the big weight was the water. So we're gonna be at least 2 kilos lighter in the other direction. And does the food count when it's in your tummy? I mean, yeah. You're still carrying it, right? I don't think that. I mean, yeah. I joined this Facebook group and you're not supposed to have a pot over 130 grams. Or you can't even post something related to it in the group. So that's not allowed. 1 hour, 1 minute.
Stream duration 1 hour.
So I'm totally full. Let's drink this. So maybe let's think about what if you have food left like this. Someone's walking over there, by the way, in the woods. And the dog. I think when I made stick bread the other time, and I left some dough that was close to the fire. I think the dogs actually went there and ate it. So it is still too warm, really. But my fingers are a bit cold, and my toes are cold. Yeah, so we have time. What I'm thinking is, should I remove my shoes and hop into the sleeping bag quickly? Let's do that. Because I want to have warmer toes. And it is like -4 or something. And I'm just sitting here. Though I'm not cold except for my toes and my fingers. I'm fine. Yeah. So actually put a new cluster on here. I was sewing and I touched here, so it's just the tiniest little thing. And I missed the spot I was putting the cluster. So very meaningful. So I can remove this totally instead because I didn't feel anything. Just the tiniest little dot on my thumb. So for trash, let's put it by the water bottle. Yeah, so I'm totally warm except for my toes. I'm totally full in my tummy. We tested to use the tent bag as a pillow. So let's walk that way now. So let's get in the tent and hop into the sleeping bag and experiment with that for 2 seconds. I'm actually gonna put the fire stuff away first. So this one is all cold now, ice cold. So let's just make sure it's tightened. So we have the fuel in there too. And then we have the lid for the pot and a filled up pot with food. Oh well, I guess I'm not gonna... Let's put the lid on that, I guess. This one was actually in here. So that I had a longer spoon or spark, but it doesn't fit in here with these things. So that's very nice to have it all just like in a little bundle. I've got also stuff for lighting a fire in the fireplace. And I do prefer the fire still, but I also have a lighter and this little metal thing here that's got matches in it. So I used the little pocket on the front. Let's see if I can do this without moving the food at least. So this is like wool. I think it's wool. I tried putting a lighter on the end and see if this burned, and it doesn't burn. And I did smell slightly wool smell though. So let's put this one down too. I love these bottles because they have this little bend, so they're very stably in the pocket, which is empty now, right? The backpack is empty. It wasn't empty before, so this pocket is also not stretchy enough for me. That's one of the bad bits. But this pocket, this is where I put this, so I can just start turning on the fire immediately, like we did. So before I had this just hanging from the front of the backpack. So, and here we have easy access to put the backpack down again. I mean the sleeping bag. Let's go indoors. I was gonna put the pot lid on here, I didn't, so there. So let's close this side of the tent. This is a power cord. Let's remove the shoes. I don't want wet shoelaces, so here. Put them in the shoes. And I guess would we open this? I didn't actually close the tent before, right? With me, with me indoors. So we have this and the sheets, and then we have the tent opening this way. And that will be enough because you don't want to get more snowy than you have to. And that was too cold. So, I can't see a thing. So now it's all closed. So we didn't put the tent up properly because it was just a quick thing. And I thought I wouldn't have time to do all of this, so that's why. We have some snow on the ground here. Let's hop into the sleeping bag. So part of this test is I want to feel if I think the ground is cold. And next to the sleeping pad here, this is just snow, you know, and here it's warm. Cold? Ah, that cold. I don't feel any cold here. My hand actually feels quite okay. I mean, warmer than in mid of air. So this is actually like a lot too long for me. Too big. So this, I'll probably, my kids can have this one, you know? They're bigger. So I don't know, I think I have 4 or something sleeping bags. But this might be the warmest. I have no idea. Haven't used them when it was this cold. This is -4. But let's see how long this is compared to. So if I put my feet at the end of the sleeping bag and let this one go up, it goes like this far down again, right? So, but that was too tight. I wouldn't want to have it on my toes like that. Roll it up a little bit. Yeah. So I'm thinking I want to go tent. I'm thinking, do I want to bring my kids' tent in when it is this cold? And I'm kind of thinking it's probably stupid because they will not want to do it again, right? It's more likely that they will like this if it is warmer, right? So I have to be smart. So last time we were in the tent, I think it was spring time. And like, not summer warm, but not -4 degrees. Yeah, I kind of regret not fixing the positions of the tent, so we would have had it like better. But part of this is definitely because, or most of it, because we have a too short stick. And I did that on purpose, right? We have the stick here, the first one I picked up that was short enough. And I do actually have a knife with me, so I could have just made it the right length, the other one, instead of doing this. Yeah, and also these, people attach them to the outer thing there. So this in the outer tent, and the other side in your tent, they attach them to make it bigger. But this stick is like, at least it's over 10 centimeters too short. So let's see if I can get my toes warmer. So with this short stick and the size of the tent, it's much smaller now. I do understand if people don't want to be too tall in here, because I do have this quite close to my... It doesn't matter at all, except for that I'm filming, right? It's just because I'm filming. Yeah, so let's just lay here a bit and not have my arm on the snow, which I actually had, and actually put this on me, though I'm not cold, so I kind of want to test, right? So do I want to go out and sleep in this? First of all, I wouldn't have done this with the bag. I would have folded the toe bit of it instead of rolling it up like this, so I could actually close it, because I can't now because it's rolled into a ball. Yeah, I think I'll need to actually touch it. And this is wide enough that I can grab my foot and bring it up, this is probably not what most people can do with. Here's my hand and my toes. Bring them up a little. So most people have these sleeping bags that are more thought to be efficient if it's really cold, right? Yeah. So I don't know which toes are the coldest now. If it's the one I tried to warm up, or if it's the other one. I'm just wiggling them now. So how I have my elbow on the snow again, and that's the only spot that's cold except for my toes, and they were cold before we got in here. So toes. So if I'm going actually to go like camping close by home to test this out during the night, I would go with something warm on the feet, right? I do have these like really thick socks that used to be like in boots that I don't have anymore. I actually put them in my drawer where I have like these things. One of those big IKEA boxes. Actually 2.
Stream duration, 1 hour and 16 minutes.
We know time passes. So my back is not cold at all.
Insufficient Brad says, "Hi, hello."
I'm testing to see if I'm cold in the tent. So we just have this little self-inflatable, like 1.5 millimeter or something, 2 millimeter thing. And I'm not cold. I don't think it's cold. My toes are going warmer now too. So I could sleep like this. That's actually interesting. So my backpack is outside this, but I could just, so I kind of sleep on my tummy. So I would just, Oh yeah, I could totally fall asleep there. So also ground is much softer than indoors floors. So maybe the fact that I could kind of slide off this pad, but I didn't really notice.
Are you planning some trip to the wilderness? Smile, smile.
Yeah, I kinda do, but I kinda want to get my kids along too, so we'll see. But I might just test sleeping in this close to home, like on the lawn, kind of thing, or maybe like a kilometer. We have a nice place. There are pine trees and this area of wooden floor where there's actually no snow even, which might be a minus though, but And there's a fireplace, like an official, approved by the municipality or whatever it's called. Kommun in Swedish. So I think that maybe, yeah, because all the schools go there and make fires, so it should be approved, I think. So this kind of spot where, and there's also like in this place, kids have put piles of wood against a tree to make like a little tree house thing. This is a bit too warm even to there. So if I were to be in here for a little longer, I'm thinking the air would go a little bit warmer in here than outside. Maybe it already is. But that's why I'm thinking this is
You want
a
to
bit
take
too
kids to
big.
the wild. Sometimes a leash for them might be helpful in this case, just joking.
Yeah.
But to be honest, trying to pull my son out of his room is a challenge, Lowell.
Yeah, it is. I actually got my kid to walk there with me, but we were supposed to make a fire and make stick bread, but it was raining, or yeah, it was raining intensely, and that's why I said, yeah, you should have boots on, like rubber boots, because it's wet, and it was like at the start of winter before we got the snow, and he said, I want my Crocs. I want my Crocs. And I was like, yeah, but you can't go out in this with Crocs. It's muddy and everything. So we didn't bring his Crocs. And after half a kilometer, he was like, yeah, my feet are so warm. They're so warm. I can't do this. I want to go home. I was like, okay, I'll go get your Crocs. I went. He stood there waiting by, it's a little stream with a bridge on it. Kind of nice place. He stood there waiting. I went and get it. He's 15. So I got his Crocs and he switched to them and he was much better. He liked like he's warm. Yeah, but that's funny. Anyway, we continued. He said, I want to go home still. I'm like, nah, we let's go there. So we went there, but he didn't want to wait in the rain for me to make a fire. And I kind of could understand that because it would have taken a little bit of time with everything wet. So yeah, so I hope that it didn't destroy. I should have like, okay, it's raining, let's do it another day. That's what I should have done for that one. So, but that spot, I think it's quite a good distance for him because I think it's like a kilometer, maybe even a little less. So that's nice. If you want to get your kids started. But right now I left my kids, dropped them off at school, and this is while I'm waiting for him to pick him up again. So I'm gonna pick him up in a bit more than half an hour, and it's like 12 minutes drive, and we have a little bit of a walk, like 3 minutes. So in a little bit we should start putting the tent back down, but it will be quick, I know. So putting all this up, making the food, it was much quicker than I thought it would have been. Yeah. So this works well anyway, to have my old phone as a TTS. The mic in that phone is not very well, that's why I switched phones. Doesn't work very well. Yeah, so I'm definitely, except for my toes, I'm not cold at all, and my toes were cold before I had my shoes on. And the tent is this low because we have a t-shirt stick on purpose to test it. But it's not, the inner tent and the outer tent is not touching anywhere. That's the only thing I really care about, to be honest. Yeah. Because if it gets wet, though I've heard that this fabric of the outer tent, if it rains, it kind of absorbs some of the moisture and it gets saggy.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have to leave for a moment. But I'll be back in a while. Don't get your toes cold, smile, smile.
Yeah, they're actually warming up. They're warming up. I don't feel really cold on my toes anymore. So, but thank you. See you later if I'm still streaming. Yeah. So I'm not cold, and I'm kind of thinking it might be time to pack up. But I can't really understand why it's not cold, because everybody says that you have to have this and this R value, and something that's that thin can't really do anything. So before this, this one, which I had for, I don't know, 10-15 years maybe, I don't know. Before this one, I've had this thin, just foam rolls. Yeah. And I've never had a problem with those. This is like luxury. There's air in there. It's softer. And I'm laying on my side now. It's totally comfortable. And I'm actually feeling a little bit like, yeah, I could totally doze off and sleep a little bit here. And my toes are going warmer and warmer now. So, since, yeah. I think my wool socks are a slight bit wet in the toes too. Let's just lay down. So usually if I sleep outside, I wouldn't sleep on my tummy, I would sleep on my back. And I usually don't move a lot when I sleep, so I would just lay here and I would wake up the same. So a little bit of testing here before a little sprint to get everything packed up. So I think there's a slight coldness right on my back, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I think my elbow is on the snow again. So I'm trying to feel cold stuff, and I don't. One, two, three, 4, 5. Also, I didn't fill this up with as much air as I could, because I was doing it quickly. Yes, slight. So on my legs and my butt, I don't feel any cold from the ground. And now when I didn't a bit ago when I was on my back, but now when I turned back on my back, tiny bit maybe. I think it's more like when I go outside with this shirt on. At first it feels cold, and then after a little bit, I don't. You know. So I have. This is just a wool shirt, and this is just a sports purple shirt, and in between I have wool frotté. That's all I have on, minus 4 here now. And I have a huge down jacket just to add stuff to the backpack. So let's turn it around now. We're gonna put it all back in the backpack. So here's the not very pretty stick that I got just from the ground, the closest. It's not even straight, it's just like split into 2 down there, and it's too short. let's pick all the things. We need gloves. Velcro stuck to my... Yeah, so let's attach this one up here. So, actually, I'm gonna like time myself. 49. And I have to be quick. So maybe I won't like film it all. So I've got some tiny little in here. So out of the sleeping bag, I do feel a temperature difference. It was not cold on my legs before, but now it kind of felt a little bit cold because this was much warmer and nicer. Maybe I should have all your clothes into the sleeping bag. Yeah, I have to focus on speed now. I chatted too much. So I'm just folding the sleeping bag in the middle and I'm gonna roll it up. From the top. And the food is still here. And now it's still warm. Especially here on the ground, all the snow melted on the ground where it was. So let's sit outside. Now it feels very cold outside. Outdoors. So I'm gonna put this in my backpack. That's why I want it available there. So what I did before was that I rolled it a little bit like this, which fits the size of the backpack. And then I just push the rest down. So, not the most fun call there, and I can't hear it, but it's about the problems I've said with our family. Stuff happens right now, and that's not good stuff. So, totally out of mode of this. let's grab those shoes. So I'll have to call that person when I get back home. So I kind of needed this break from that topic. I didn't need to turn it around. Roll this up. So, yeah. You didn't forget anything except for snowing, right? Let's fix this back on there. So the peacefulness of the woods, hearing the birds. All of it. I needed this. Gosh. So my fingers are a little cold now. That wasn't very good. I should have finished the tent first. So I had, as I said, 2 phone calls just when I left, and now I got another one, so well. I'm worried about stuff in my family. frozen ground. Stuff frozen to the tent stakes. And it's cold. Oh look, that one actually wasn't on. But to explain some of the technique. So let's sit back. So I'm actually just gonna put this in here, I think, because of time. I didn't even roll off the cord, and my fingers are quite cold. Oh. Gosh, I need those gloves now. After being inside the tent, it feels much colder. It's possible that it went colder too. Yeah, so let's get back. Gonna pick my kid up from school. And when I get a call right when I'm about to pack like that, that's a bit stressful too, right? So I really need those gloves now. That's nice. So I got used to the warmth in the tent. And now it felt horribly cold outside. That says that it works, right? Let's see, what time is it? Oh gosh. Yeah, let's speed up. So I did jog the other direction too, right? This. So what I am doing is that I didn't see my car keys where I put them. And I'm stressed. So I'm gonna go make sure that I can find those. So I had them up when we just went into the woods. Yeah, I know where I have them now. So I moved them, that's why. That's why. Let's see. I put them by the lamp. So I was gonna start warming them up. So now I'm holding the keys. There. There. Warm enough to start the car. So if you take the keys up and then put them back in the same place where you originally put them, right? So I'm not gonna say I'm gonna have a cyber stream today because I probably won't. So we'll see. I have so much to do when I get home. Yeah, but I'm kind of amazed of how cold it was when I get out of the tent. So my car, the door was just frozen to, right? But that means that it was actually getting warmer inside the tent. But I didn't realize that it was warmer until I opened it. Yeah. So this is the tiniest tent I've had. So when I was little, we used to go camping, car camping, with my family. We used to like walk out to places from the car. And my mom and dad had a Primus gas like short stuff out of the house. So I've been working from home. I've been home with them. I've worked different amounts from home, but I have also the last few years I have actually worked not from home. Worked at an electronics company. So the days I have not driven my kid, I've been working there like half time. So it's still not a lot of time I can scrape together. So I'm just about to apply for full-time jobs in cybersecurity or IT, and I kind of started, but then I got pancreatitis and gallstone, and I was in the hospital 2.5 weeks with pancreatitis. It's the sickest I've ever been in my life, and yeah, lots of pain, epidural stuff, fever, just generally not even fully there, you know. And then after removing the gallbladder too, then I was in such a bad shape. I was walking with this thing with wheels that you have in Sweden, because I couldn't actually walk at first without a lot of support. But now I can jog again. I can walk and run a little bit. So I'm almost back in shape, but it's really affected a lot of things. Yeah. But now, part of my inspiration to get out in nature again is this getting in shape thing. And I also want to bring my kids, with the oldest one, who's just become 18. He hasn't been able to go outside. Autism, OCD stuff, and he's recently been able to go outside more than just short bits. And we actually were on a walk last week, so it's getting there faster. Hi Panda. Yeah, I'm just about to stop picking my kid up here, and I'm actually 1 minute late, so I'm babbling too much. Sorry. faster. Yes, I'm gonna stop streaming, so bye.